यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. Thus spoke Krishna to Arjun on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He assured the hesitant Pandava warrior that there was an unwritten pact between the universe and the Creator, that whenever Dharma was undermined, the Divine appeared in person on the earth and helped establish the qualities of tapasya, purity, piety, and truth. Krishna's commitment is to provide succor to the noble souls, destroy those who act evil, and establish the rule of law, of compassion, piety, and truthfulness. Remember, Krishna's promise holds for good, forever, not just for a specific point of time. From one yuga to another, from one land to another, God's promise to look after persons of noble conduct holds good. His appearance in human form or other forms on planet Earth is known as avatar. Once upon a time, Narad, born to Brahma, questioned him about the universe, its creation and perpetuation. Who would know the answer better than the Creator himself? Father, Narad asked Brahma, you are the creator of this universe. How did it come about? Why does it come to an end at the time of Pralaya? Which power controls this Srishti? Tell me the truth, my father. Beyond me is Bhagwan, replied Brahma. I reflect his illumination as do the sun, the moon, the stars, and the planets. I create under his guidance and control. All knowledge such as the Vedas flow from him. The material world, Kal, the living and their inherent disposition to act are all God's manifestations. My son, he alone is Ishvara. He is the master. He has no form yet. He is omnipresent. He cleared me to procreate the world as you see it. He asked me to do it. He is vast and infinite as the sky. Yet we are all his manifestations. His first avatar was Virat Purush. Whatever is, whatever was, and whatever will be originates from him. It is true of myself, Vishnu, Shiva, human beings, reptiles, animals, water, the oceans, even ingrained temperaments and the conduct and behavior of everything. But Father, injected Narada, he was always questioning. I have heard that God visits the earth now and then to set things right, to create role models, to steer the wrong doers towards righteousness, to crush the unholy and to strengthen the forces of good. I want to know in brief about some of his visits. Good question. Brahma was pleased with his son's curiosity, his hunger for the knowledge of the divine. He could foresee that in times to come Narad would be known as Devarshi, a godly saint wandering all over and disseminating this knowledge. He replied, long before Krishna Vasudeva himself, an avatar, assured Arjuna on the Kurukshetra battlefield about his periodical visits to provide succor to the sadhus, Bhagwan had assumed many forms suitable for the circumstances and requirements of the situation. I shall describe to you some of his major avatars, not necessarily in human form, but always appropriate to the need of the hour. But remember that even I may not know all about him. I am all ears, said Narad, as he sat at his father's feet with full concentration. Brahma said, when Prithvi had been submerged in the pralaya waters, the infinite assumed the form of a boar. This was known as the Varaha avatar. He was challenged by the demon Hiranyaksha, brother of Hiranyakashipu, who had seized Prithvi and wanted to keep her under his subjugation forever. Hiranyaksha's eyes were made of gold and emitted flares of fire to annihilate anyone who challenged him. Son, it was partly my mistake. I had granted a boon to this son of Rishi Kashyap and Aditi, the parents of the Devatas as well as the Rakshasas. Hiranyaksha had overpowered even Indra and seized his sovereignty and control over Swargaloka. His greed knew no bounds, and that proved to be his downfall. Bhagwan Varaha caught him in his jaws and crushed him as Indra had done to the mountains. Indra clipped their wings, and when they were determined to rise to unimaginable heights. I have included some famous sculptures and paintings of a number of avatars in this video. Please look at them. Narad was astonished to hear this tale. He was aware that Kashyap was Brahma's grandson and that therefore Hiranyaksha was a great-grandson to his father. He could not resist asking, why are you so liberal with your boons, my father? You know they are always misused against the sadhus or for nefarious purposes like Hiranyaksha's abduction of Prithvi. Brahma felt embarrassed at being reminded of his one weakness, his generosity. However, ignoring the query, he continued, Bhagwan was born as twins, Narayan from the womb of Murti, daughter of Daksha and wife of Dharma. In this avatar, they set standards of tapasya and control of the senses. The most stunning and seductive apsaras sent by Indra could not shake the determination of the yogis. Narayana put them to shame by creating a nymph called Urvashi. From a flower placed on his thigh, she excelled the former in beauty. Son, Shankara sitting in Samadhi reduced Kamdeva to ashes with a furious glance when the latter tried to distract him and divert his attention to the beauty of Parvati. However, he could not extinguish the fire of Krodha, anger that was destroying his equanimity. Yet the same Krodha could never enter the pure consciousness of Narayan. Listen, Narad. You too, never let Krodha overpower your intellect. This all-consuming fire destroys one's sense of discrimination between right and wrong, good and evil, truth and falsehood. Bhagwan, as Narayan, has shown the way. I am being selective in narrating Bhagwan's merciful visits, said Brahma, humoring his wise son. In reality, God is with us all the time and in every place and clime. What a truth. Look inside. You will find God. How does one reach him and seek help if necessary? Asked Narad. Look inwards. When you are in doubt, my son, replied Brahma, pleased with Narad's sharp queries. In every individual, God takes avatar as his conscience. He is present 24 hours and all through life. He never lets you down. However, you have to ensure that you do not drown the voice of your conscience in the dark, murky pits of falsehood, violence, greed, lust, and cruelty. We shall take up the rest of the narration in part 2 of this video. Till then, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna.